Hey guys, welcome to the Iron Mobility Fitness channel. I'm Coach Hallie, and today we're going to lead you through a brief neck and shoulder mobility routine. This is great to warm up before you do an upper body focus like a chest press, Turkish get up, snatch workout. So let's get started. Just standing with your feet hips width distance. We're going to start with some neck cars, arms down by your side, just a little micro bend in the knees, drop the tailbone down, rib cage is wrapping in and back, and all 10 fingers are going to reach toward the ground, dropping those shoulders away from ears as much as you can. And then from here, just bring your chin down toward the center of your chest. And you're going to trace along your right collarbone with your chin, reaching toward your right shoulder as far as you can. Take a breath there, and then dip the right ear back toward your shoulder blade. Just find a nice stretch on that left side of your neck. From there, turn your head directly to the right, nose reaching as far as you can to that side, top of the head is up toward the sky. And then from here, start to lift the nose and chin up to that top right corner of your space. And you're going to trace a big rainbow all the way across to the left top corner. Then from there, just turn your head directly to the left side. And then dip that left ear back toward the shoulder blade like you're trying to listen closely to your shoulder. And then chin reaches toward that left shoulder joint, bringing it low. Trace the collarbone all the way back to the center of your chest. And then just reverse it, going one rep in the opposite direction. So we're going to go to that left shoulder now. And then from there, dip that left ear back toward the shoulder blade. Turn the head directly to your left side now. Take a breath there. Start to lift the nose up to that top left corner. Trace that big arch or rainbow shape all the way to the right top corner. And then look directly to the right side. And right ear dips back toward the shoulder blade. And then bring the chin down toward that right shoulder joint and trace your collarbone all the way back to the center. Nice, and then we're gonna go right into a shoulder car. Let's bring the right hand to the front of our rib cage just to help make sure we're not going into any rib cage flare here. We're gonna externally rotate through the left shoulder as much as we can, and then start to cross the arm over our midline, adducting that shoulder, slowly bringing the arm up into our overhead position, as much shoulder flexion as we can get. And then internally rotate there at the top so your palm faces out away from your midline, thumb is forward, pinky's back. And then start to sweep the arm back in space. Keep internally rotating through the shoulder joint, and your arm is going to sweep back behind you. So now we're in shoulder extension, and I'll just turn sideways so you can see this. I'm trying to not let the front of my shoulder dip forward. I'm trying to pull that shoulder back as far as I can. Bring the arm down by your side, and we're just going to reverse it now, keeping the internal rotation. Sweep the arm back into that shoulder extension. Lift it as high as you can, then start to externally rotate through the shoulder joint without rotating your T-spine open. We're going to start to sweep the arm all the way back up into that max shoulder flexion range. We're externally rotated now. I'll just turn back so you guys can see. And we're gonna just sweep across the midline like our biceps trying to graze our cheek and go all the way back down into our starting position. Okay, we're just gonna switch sides and do the same thing on the right arm. Externally rotate and slowly sweep across. Remember, we wanna isolate the joint here in this type of mobility work, so we're making sure nothing else changes in our body. Internally rotate through the shoulder at the top, and then start to sweep the arm back. Keep internally rotating, whoop, brushing a tree. Sweep the arm into that shoulder extension position, trying to keep the front of the shoulder from dipping forward toward your chest. Bring the arm down by your side, take a breath, and then just reverse it, keeping the internal rotation. Reach back into that shoulder extension position, and then externally rotate there as much as you can before you start to reach the arm back up and bringing it all the way back into that shoulder flexion. Externally rotate as much as you can. Sweep the arm across your midline as you start to bring it down. And there we go. Awesome. We're going to come down onto hands and knees next and go through some segmentation of our spine, leading with our head, okay? So set yourself up on hands and knees, hands right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we're going to start in extension of our spine. So make an arch and send that tailbone up and back. Make sure you're pushing out of those shoulders. Pull the sternum open and through the shoulders. Gaze is up. Now we're going to keep the rest of our spine in this position and start with our head, bringing our chin toward our chest. And then start to push away from the floor with those arms and shoulders. Rib cage starts to come in and back toward the back of our body. Lower spine starts to flex, and then tailbone drops fully down toward our hamstrings. Take a breath here in our full flexion. And then start from the head again, reaching the gaze up as far as you can. Then start to pull your sternum through and forward into that T-spine extension. Try to make it as smooth as you can, working your way down your spine. Keep breathing with intention. And we'll just do one more rep like this, okay? Chin coming down toward the chest. And then rounding the spine one vertebrae at a time back into that full flexion of our spine. Head comes up, back into extension of the cervical spine. Then our T-spine. Then our lumbar spine. Tailbone reaches up and back last. Take a breath here. And then we're going to find a, quote, neutral spine, still in this quadruped position, and we're going to move through some scap cars. So here we go. Just start protracted and depressed away from your ears, keeping our rib cage braced in, our abdominal wall engaged. We're going to move through the shoulders, our scapula, and we're going to first retract. So our chest will lower a little bit, but our elbows are going to stay straight. Then shrug up toward your ears in that retraction. Then protract, and then glide the shoulders down away from your ears, revealing more of your neck. And we're going to do that 2 more times in that direction. So retract through the scaps, elevate them up, protract, and depress the scaps down. 1 more like that. Retract, elevate, protract, depress. Now we're just going to reverse it. So elevate back up in the protraction, then retract in that elevation. Keep the retraction, glide the scaps down away from your ears, and protract out of it. 2 more in that direction. Elevate up, shrugging up toward your neck. Then retract, then glide them down, depressing your scaps. Push away the floor. 1 more. Elevate up, retract, depress, and protract. Nice. Okay. And then last thing we're going to do in this little shoulder mobility warm-up is some shoulder flexion hovers, 1 arm at a time, and we're going to do this laying down on our stomachs. So I have a yoga block that I'm going to use for this. Feel free to use any object at any height that you feel is challenging. So just maybe try a short object at first, and then if you feel like your range of motion feels pretty easy, you can make the object taller. That's why I like a yoga block, because you can really start at low, then medium, and then its highest height. I'm going to use the highest height because my range of motion is pretty good, but meet yourself where you're at, okay? We're going to have the opposite hand underneath our forehead. This working arm is going to reach straight out in that shoulder flexion position, and I'm going to have my thumb up toward the ceiling. Now we're going to brace our body. I'm going to find a posterior pelvic tilt. Rib cage is trying to wrap in and up toward the back of my body, and I'm going to breathe in, filling up the back and sides of my rib cage, and then exhale, lift my arm up as high as I can over my object, control it down to the outside. Take a breath in, exhale, lift back up, coming back where I started. Okay, and now we just have 2 more reps on this arm. Go slow and controlled, no crash landings. One more. And try to keep your elbow straight, your wrist long. We're making sure we're keeping the integrity of this long length so that our arm feels pretty heavy. Awesome. And then we're just gonna switch arms. Okay, same thing on this side, making sure that we're keeping our body in that stacked position, posterior pelvic tilt, rib cage wrapping in and up toward the back of the body. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lift. Lower with control, inhale. Exhale, lift back up. And 2 more full reps like that. Last one, big breath in. And last rep. And rest. Awesome. Hopefully everything is feeling pretty primed and ready for your upper body workout. I'm gonna be filming a upper body kettlebell focus workout next, and that's gonna be on the Iron Mobility YouTube channel very soon. So make sure you subscribe and follow us along. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for joining me. Bye.